So I recently returned home from South Korea where I bought a lot of things, and I did post a vlog for my trip where I typically would include the things that I bought, but I honestly picked up too much stuff for it to be contained by that vlog. So I asked at the end if you guys would be interested in seeing everything that I picked up while I was away, and honestly, considering this is not the kind of content that I typically post, I was genuinely surprised by the enthusiasm in the comments to see everything that I brought home from my trip. So I recently hosted a group trip to Seoul and Busan, and I added, I believe, 4 days onto the beginning of that trip as well. So I was there for a significant amount of time, and I generally love to shop. Even if I'm not intending to spend money, I love to go out into the city and just browse my favorite stores. If you don't know this about South Korea, it is an amazing place to go shopping because not only do they specialize in things like skincare, where it is more affordable than it is here, but also better quality and more effective. Everything is also significantly cheaper there, even just down to the conversion rate between British pounds and Korean won. But something that isn't included in this haul is that I did have to replace my headphones while I was away because I snapped them on the flight, putting them into my cabin case, and I compared the price as I was shopping to what I would pay at home, and they cost me £80 less to buy them in Korea. That is even without the tax that I got back than they would have done if I'd have picked them up here. I don't feel like I spent a lot of money at all, but I did come home with a lot of things, especially like hair and skin products, which I think does comprise the majority of this haul. But I do have a few books, I got some blind boxes, I have snacks, I have stationery and annotation supplies, I have like art and touristy souvenir kind of items. I also have a little bit of like clothing and apparel, and everything in this video is going to be split down into sections. So not a book related video, but we do have those annotation and stationery supplies, which I feel like may tickle your fancy just a little bit because they definitely tickled mine. But I'm going to start off with the clothing because the first thing that I picked up, actually maybe on our first day, was this cardigan. And the reason why I'm mentioning this first is because sitting next to the radiator to do this haul in this cardigan, not my brightest idea. So I may be taking this off at some point during the video. This cost me, I can't remember how much everything that I'm going to talk about today cost. I know for sure though that this was about £15. I love me like an ugly or like retro looking 80s style cardigan or sweater, so when I saw this I knew that I had to have it. I unfortunately cannot remember the name of the store that I picked this up from. I remember that it kind of had the aesthetic of being like a slightly grungy skate shop kind of vibe. I got it in Myeongdong from a store that the name begins with A, and they have a bear as the mascot, and they also have like Seoul shirts and like touristy shirts like that, as well as like a ton of other brands within the same building. And I got this from the sale rack on the top floor. It's right by Pop Mart if anybody's familiar with Seoul and Myeongdong. The only other wearable thing I got was a new pair of sunglasses from Double Lovers. I know that Gentle Monster is also a very popular sunglasses brand. I have been looking for a new pair of sunglasses because when I went to China last year, I put mine in the pocket of my dungarees, and when I took them off, I stood on the dungarees to like pull it off my leg and snapped my sunglasses in half. So the sunglasses that I was currently using were just a £5 pair that I picked up in China, and these are a little Gen Z for me. I don't know how you guys feel. They're also dirty, but that's fine because it comes with this little cleaning cloth. They also have like a certificate of authentication, which I will say seems a little bit extra because I think that for sunglasses these were very inexpensive. I am not somebody who pays a lot of money for designer sunglasses because honestly I don't look after them. I throw them into my bag where they can very easily get scratched, and so my budget for sunglasses is less than £50. Like that would be my maximum. I've never actually paid £50 for a pair of sunglasses. These were £29 and everything in the store was similarly priced. Let me know down below whether you do think that they suit me because like I said, I do think they are slightly Gen Z for me, but I'm trying something new. I do feel like it would be sensible to do the hair and the skincare portion of this video because I do definitely feel like that is where I spent most of my money, and it is also where we have the most to cover. So I did have 2 beauty related things in South Korea. Beauty treatments are extremely popular there. They're also incredibly affordable. You can get like £30 Botox in Korea, which I didn't get. but you can. And something that I definitely wanted to indulge in was the skin analysis and also the like head spa scalp treatments that they do. I do have a flaky scalp. I have suspected for a little while that it could be psoriasis, but I haven't been diagnosed with that. I just want to be clear. When they did the scalp camera thing, she took one look at my scalp and asked me if I have psoriasis, which I feel like says a lot for me. So when I did go for the scalp treatment, my driving motivation is that I love having my hair washed. So the fact that this came with like a neck massage where she removed a knot in my muscle in the back of my neck that's been there for like 6 months and constantly causing me pain. It also had like a head massage. There was a like scalp mask. She like steamed everything. It was just a really relaxing experience, but it does come with some recommended products that they try to upsell. Given my scalp, I did decide to purchase this shampoo, which I have tried since I've been back. It is the Genmori Seborrheic Scalp Shampoo. It has ingredients to soothe inflammation as well as being extremely cleansing. It is very, very minty, and it does leave like a tingling sensation when you're done. It feels very cool, which I actually really enjoyed. And it also helps to promote hair growth, because when you have a lot of like flaky skin or something like psoriasis on your scalp, it can like prevent the growth of baby hairs. Something else that I picked up that I haven't tried yet is the Genmori Scalp Tonic. I have looked all of these things up, like reviews online as well, since I purchased them, and I've heard really good things about this. I think they include things like human stem cells to promote hair growth and also to strengthen the root of your hair and improve the general health of your scalp, which is real nice if I do indeed have psoriasis. And of course, because my hair, this is my natural hair color, is so incredibly dark that having this blonde is extremely damaging, and I did have more blonde that has been colored over dark. So she did recommend something for the health of my hair. This is the, I don't know how to pronounce the brand name, I believe that this is actually Japanese, but it is the Eternal Stage Deorum Engage Serum, and this is to promote moisture and also strength within the hair itself as opposed to the scalp like the other two products. So I did also get my skin analysis done, which was honestly my #1 priority, because obviously if you know what issues your skin has, you can actually use products for those specific issues as opposed to kind of like guessing what might work for you. The place where I went was Beauty Play. They have 2 branches. I think one is in Hongdae and I went to the one in Myeongdong. It's essentially a government run initiative, so it's free. It is also so quiet, so much quieter than trying to go to the Olive Youngs that do the skin analysis, and they essentially scan your face in a machine and it'll tell you all of the areas that you need improvement. They then recommend products or ingredients that would help out those specific issues that you have. The great thing about my skin is that I have an amazing nasolabial fold, and yes, I will be bragging about that for the foreseeable future. And I also believe I'm significantly less wrinkled than other people of my age, which, you know what, it's great to hear. However, I unfortunately don't have great skin texture. I don't have great elasticity. My pores need some work. My UV spots are okay. I do use factor 50 on my face every single day now, but for many, many years I didn't. I have some dark spots and some uneven skin tone. My circles under my eyes as well came back as like 80% dark, so essentially they're blacker than my soul. The products that I picked up were specifically to target some of those areas. All of the skincare I did pick up at Olive Young. I found it all to be incredibly affordable, and there's a lot of products that exclusively for Olive Young come in like larger packages, or they contain samples, or they have refills in the box as well. So a lot of stuff, like when I opened the box, it had way more in there than I anticipated. But for my eye circles, vitamin C is always recommended for its brightening effect. So I found these Vita C Tech eye patches. I haven't tried these yet because I do have some snail mucus eye patches in the fridge, which I do use. I don't use eye patches every day. Normally, if I'm going to be going out later in the day as like part of my morning self-care with my coffee, I'll put eye patches on to give me a little bit of a brightening effect, and I'm interested in trying these. Something that I have been using religiously since I bought them, and this was straight after my skin analysis, I picked up some of the MediHeal toning pads. These are pretty hyped on TikTok, I think. Maybe not this specific one because they have a bunch of different types. So I got 100 in here. and then a refill pack with 100 in. I don't think though that I can buy these refill pouches anywhere else. So if you guys are aware of anywhere you can just get the refills for the Mediheal cubes in the purple, then please let me know, because I can only find in the UK. I mean, even on Korean websites I was looking at and in Olive Young, I couldn't find these for sale, only these ones. But these contain PDRN. PDRN I think is one of the newest, like hottest skincare ingredients out there. Obviously South Korean, because everything is that's good in skincare, and essentially I think it's being recommended for everything, but the reason why I specifically wanted PDRN products is because they're great for stimulating collagen, which is what puts the elasticity back into your skin. When I did the skin analysis as well, I found out that I have dry skin, which I thought I had a combination on normal skin because I'd never get like dry patches, but I also don't have a lot of like spots or pimples or anything. Turns out my skin is dry. These do also help with moisture, although the PDRN I did get specifically for the elasticity. These double up as kind of a mask as well. You can either use them as a toning pad, which is how I've been using them, or you can stretch them and put them on your face in targeted areas and leave them on for 15 minutes to let the like essence do its thing. And I love these as well. I've kept a lot of the stuff in my suitcase so that I didn't have to hunt around the house for everything when it came to doing this haul. So a lot of this stuff I haven't tried yet. These I definitely have, but I will say what I have been using so far I think has already made such a massive improvement to my skin. I usually use a Youth to the People sleep mask every night, but I was coming to the end of that. I've just run out of it actually, and I wanted, while I was in South Korea, I thought that I may as well pick up a sleeping mask, try something new that is so much cheaper than anything I'm going to be able to pick up at home. So I did ask somebody working in Olive Young what she recommended, and she said that the Laneige water sleeping mask is incredibly popular right now. I was looking for something really hydrating, and I mean, I believe this is the one, but as everything in Olive Young comes in super large packaging, I also ended up with a sample of their Bouncy and Firm sleeping mask, as well as the sample of this one as well, which is, I don't know how to pronounce that word, it's like CICA. It also came with a refill of the sleeping mask to pop in there as well. Now, Laneige is a brand that I only discovered was Korean when I was in Korea, because we have it here and we've had it here for quite some time, and their sleeping masks are very popular. They cost £25 here, and this cost me £12 in Seoul. So I definitely picked up one. This is a flavor, we do have this here, but it's a newer one here. I don't know how long it's been available over there, but it is the strawberry shortcake flavor. This is just one I put on my lips for bed, and it like soaks in overnight. The watermelon one I've got literally has lasted forever, and I do also have a limited edition Christmas one as well, but for the price, considering I use it every day, I thought I might as well restock. When I picked up the Mediheal pads, there was a free sample of these masks in here. These are the Rose PDRN from the same brand Mediheal, and I did try that one while I was over there. I used a couple of masks like on an evening, because obviously when you're traveling you're kind of bloaty, you're inflamed, you don't sleep as much, everything's a bit puffy. So a couple of nights I popped a face mask on to just like soothe my skin. This one I really enjoyed, and it has the PDRN in it once again. So I went back and I bought a box of 20 of these. I do know that these cost me £10, and if I were to buy them in the UK it would cost me £17 for 10 as opposed to £10 for 20. So glad that I picked these up. I did also generally just pick up a couple of different sheet masks to try, because they are one of the things that are incredibly popular in South Korean skincare, and one of the ones that I bought that I haven't managed to try yet was this one from Pro Bioderm. Once again, I was looking at things that would improve my skin elasticity, and this one is a collagen remodeling serum gel mask. Something else that I'm running low on in my general daily skincare I already use is my sunscreen. Like I said, I use Factor 50 on my face every single day now as my final step in my skincare. I mean, there was a time when I didn't really do skincare at all, about 5 years ago, and then I got into a habit of using sunscreen if I knew I was going out for the day, but if I was just going out to walk the dog and it was overcast, I wouldn't bother. Now it's every single day Factor 50. So the one that I use that I actually really enjoy is the Supergoop Factor 50. That is running low. So once again, I thought I may as well try a product that's cheaper, and something that's incredibly hyped is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Rice Plus Probiotics SPF 50. Haven't tried this yet because I'm still working my way down to the end of my Supergoop, but I think these three, they all came in one box, and I think it was about £12, which is so good. good. And I have used this brand before. I have one of their cleansers and I really like it. I've been using the Fenty Melt Off cleanser for a long time, but I hate the applicator on that. So I was actually sent a Beauty of Josie on one to try and I liked it. So when this Fenty one's done, I'm exclusively switching over to that because it does the job just as well, but is so much easier to apply than the stupid squirt tube on Fenty. And I also generally don't have an eye cream in my skincare routine, so I was just kind of like looking at what was available. Once again, I picked up one from Beauty of Josie, which actually I think in South Korea these are not the most popular brand, but I do know that I can pick them up here very affordably. And this one is the Revive Eye Serum, Ginseng and Retinol. I've only tried this once so far and I mean it was fine, but I haven't got to a point where I'm using it continually yet, so I can say whether it's good or not. Something that I didn't even know existed until I was in Olive Young is something, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, it's called an ampoule. So I think what the actual word ampoule means is like a sealed glass vial, and they're typically used for injectables. So in terms of skincare, an ampoule is something that is heavily concentrated in its ingredients, like you would find in an injectable, as opposed to something that you apply topically. Is that the right word? I had never heard of these before, so I didn't even know what step in my skincare to put them on, and I haven't started using this properly yet because I didn't want to like unseal a bunch of stuff and then have to try and get them home. So I am going to be putting this into my routine after I finish this haul, but it did come with actually a bunch of little sample sachets that I tried. Obviously I haven't used it consistency enough to see what difference it's making, but I did look up what PDRM products were recommended. This came up at the top. There is a silver version. This is the gold one, and apparently the silver one is extremely popular in like Western culture and the gold one is extremely popular in South Korea. Now this is the most expensive thing that I bought for my skincare haul and it cost me £29, and I looked it up. I don't know if you can get it in the UK, but I know in the US it's $50, so significant savings. I mean, it was a no-brainer. This one says that it says turnover ampoule jewel effect dot trademark jewel PDRN, and the brand is Rejurin. It says it's a signature anti-aging solution with Rejurin Healer Turnover Ampoule and Jewel Effect. The internet says it's a premium anti-aging serum designed to brighten, firm and deeply repair skin using high concentration salmon derived CPDRM and ceramides. It specifically targets wrinkles, improves skin elasticity, which is what I wanted it for, restores the moisture barrier, enhances cell turnover for a more radiant, youthful and glass skin appearance. So I guess stay tuned to my channel to see how this works out for me. And then I think the last of the skincare is just a couple of samples that we picked up. There are certain districts of Seoul that are known for having a bunch of pop-up stores. Obviously skincare brands incredibly popular there, and this was at a Medicube pop-up in Gangnam that we passed, and they had a bunch of free samples outside, so me and Curtis got one of each. I have not looked these up yet to really see what they do, but this one I think would be more suited to Curtis's skin than mine. We have opposite skin types, which is great because it means like kind of between us we can use everything. But this one is a red acne succinct acid peel, which I feel like because it has acne in there would be more beneficial to him because he has oily skin. And then this one is it's that word again that I can't say. It's a deep cleansing balm. Anyway, from skincare I guess we'll go to books. I did pick up 3 books while I was away. I do like to bring home one souvenir book from everywhere I visit, so typically that is something that is either English but by an author that is from the country I'm visiting, or a book that I love that has been translated into the language of the country that I'm visiting. So I did pick up one of each of those, but then I also picked up a book that I have just been meaning to pick up for a while, and I was like, I may as well just grab it while I'm here, and it's an extra souvenir book. So that book in particular, I'm going to open this up now because a lot of English books in South Korea are wrapped in plastic. This one is To Complete by Ali Hazelwood. An example of how much more affordable things are in South Korea is that this is a US import, so it's more expensive than a UK copy anyway, because books are more expensive in the US and Canada than they are here. And it's also been imported into Korea, so there should be import fees. And this cost me £7.50. And if I were to buy it here, it would be £8 full price. So still, considering it's more expensive technically copy and imported, still cost me less than it would have been to buy it from Waterstones here. But this one is Ali Hazelwood's new novella. All I know about this is that it is surrounding two gamers. She always writes STEM romances, so people who work in science, technology, engineering and mechanics, I think is what the M stands for. And it takes place at some sort of winter retreat. But Ali Hazelwood is an author by author for me, so this is just a book that I've been meaning to pick up and add to my TBR. But the souvenir book that I picked up as one of my favorite books that has been translated into Korean was Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I love this cover. Korean books in general are gorgeous, and this one is so cute. I didn't even notice when I picked it up. I only saw the cover. Then I flipped it over and I realized that Levi is also on the back as well, so this had to come home with me. And it also matches the book that I got in China as my souvenir book, because that one was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, but obviously the Chinese edition, so that's great as well. And then the last book that I picked up was a book that has been translated into English by a Korean author, which was The Rainfall Market by Yu Yong-gwang. This one I have already read and I didn't love it, but I did enjoy it. And it falls into a little subgenre that's incredibly popular right now of like translated Korean cozy fantasy stories, which I don't love cozy fantasy, so I've been a little wary of it, but I do like a lot of Asian translated fiction. So this one was a little bit of a hit and a miss for me, because there were elements of it that I loved and elements I wasn't as invested in, but that is also why I wanted to pick up a couple of different souvenir books in case one of them I didn't end up keeping. I am going to be keeping this one for now, but whether it stays forever, like, we'll have to see. So I feel like that is a good segue into the stationery and annotation supplies. Now I need to clarify for you guys here that I don't annotate books, and I've said this 1,000 times, especially in my unboxing videos, I am a stationery hoarder. I love it all. I love pens, I love notebooks, I love stickers, I love washi tape, and I never ever use any of it. However, I did annotate a singular book early this year. I annotated my favorite contemporary romance of all time, which is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I had such a good time that it's like I've just decided that annotation is in my future. And I do have some videos coming up where I think I might annotate some books. So not as the point of the video, but in the process of making the video, I may annotate some of my favorite books. And so I thought, because I like to annotate in a color-coded kind of way, like I want my pens and my stickers, I want everything to match the covers of the book. So I essentially used that as an excuse to spend money on things that I may never use. And I accept that, okay? I want to be this person that journals and annotates. I don't know if that is me, but it never will be me if I don't have 800 packs of zebra mild liners. No, will it? These, I think the cheapest you can buy these in the UK is £6. I paid, I think, because when I made my annotation video, I was in a hurry, so I had to go to the shop to buy the pens, and they cost me like £15 for 5 zebra mild liners, just so I could have them there and then. These were £4.50 each, and the colours are ones that are slightly more difficult to find. You can pick these up on Amazon. They'll cost you more, you can do it, but they're not like the packs that you're going to find in the store. So I think that this one is called something like a muted natural colour pack. And then I also got these ones, which I couldn't find what the actual pack name is for this. I mean, I could translate that. And then I also got this one, which are brights, but not quite neons. And it was the red one especially that I wanted from this. So that's a hint. I'm going to be annotating a red book soon because I also picked up these. And do I need these tabs? No. Do I have sticky tabs in various different colors that all match? Yes. Do I really love these because you can line up like the edge of the book to the edge of the red so that all of your tabs will always be exactly the same length? Absolutely. And they're red. I also picked up these, which I am obsessed with because I love stickers. Were they necessary? Absolutely not. Probably the least necessary things that I picked up in terms of the annotation in the stationery section here. They essentially are highlight strips, so they go over the text and you can see the text through them. When I thought about annotating a couple of years ago, I picked something similar to this up on Amazon and it just wasn't good. Like they just didn't work. So hopefully these are a little bit better. And I picked these ones up because I really liked the colors and the design. These ones I picked up because I want to annotate a blue book soon, which is your second clue. This one was 100% a silly goofy purchase, but I bought a Beyond Blue sock sticker pack because I am an ultimate fangirl. Lovely Runner is my favorite K-drama and I just thought that this was super funny. So who knows if I'll ever use these, but I had to pledge my allegiance right there and then in this store. I also picked up this very cute pack of dog stickers. So when we get to the art section, which I guess will be coming up next, I went to a cat shop and a dog shop where they sold cat art things and dog art things. Obviously I went wild in the dog shop, and one of the things that I picked up was these like dog bread stickers. This one is my favorite because it reminds me so much of Brie. And I did also pick up this little print of the bagel one. I don't go on TikTok a lot, but something that TikTok Live keeps targeting me for is watching videos of people putting together these sticker kits. And so when I saw these sticker kits, I picked up some. You guys know I love me a craft project always. These seem like a little bit of commitment because like what if I stick them in the right place? But I'm going to try my best. They were super affordable, but essentially you are making like these rooms by 3D laying the stickers over each other. And I wanted to give it a try. It's one of those things where like, if I wanted to give it a try and I had to rely on myself to order it online, because you can't really buy these in stores here, it would literally never get done. So while they were in front of my face, I did buy them. And then I also picked up a bookmark from a different cat shop to the cat shop we're about to talk about. This one was in Gamcheon Culture Village and it looks like Hamilton. You know, I think Patricia got this one as well, who is Hamilton's #1 fan. This leads us nicely into the art section of this video. I genuinely like going through it. I thought that this would be a quick video, and between me being unable to stop yapping and the sheer amount of stuff that I bought, it's not a quick video. But aside from this and the stickers from the dog shop, I also picked up this. I tend to buy larger art that I got on this trip, so I don't know what I think I'm gonna do with all of these tiny prints and postcards that I have. The art was just too gorgeous. I did pick up a couple of things for my dad or my dad's wife because she likes her, well, she likes her dogs, obviously. They have dogs and they both like them. They also have like a lot of dog art and stuff. So I got a Rottweiler and a Dalmatian. I picked up this one for myself just because I really liked the artwork on it. Let's just tilt it so you guys can see better. I guess that this one should technically have gone into the stationery section, but yes, I did get a pack of dog stickers. I got this Christmas card because it had a Labrador on it. So the two prints that I got from the cat shop, I got this one because we did go in cherry blossom season and that's a tuxedo cat, which I have a tuxedo cat. And then this one, I just really liked the artwork on. We also went to a big stationery store in Hongdae called Object, which was the best stationery store that we visited on our trip. I loved it in there. And I picked up 3 packs of stickers and also a little print. It was kind of like, I can't remember what they're called. We have them in the UK, but where they're shops where each artist has like their own bay and everything's by separate artists. It was that kind of thing. So I picked this up just because I thought it was adorable. And then I got 3 packs of stickers. I got another pack of dog stickers because, I mean, I'm only human. And then these 2 were by the same artist. I picked up a couple of postcards from Gamcheon Culture Village, which this one is of the village. And this one reminded me of the dragon in Spirited Away. I think he's called Haku. So I thought that that was cute. Ixion is an area of Seoul that has lots of like cute vibey cafes, but they also have some little boutique shops as well. And one of those had a bunch of really nice postcards in. So of course I picked them up because they were too cute. And I don't know how I'm supposed to resist all of this cuteness. Like, tell me you wouldn't have done the same if you were there. I literally bet you can't. It's too difficult. I also got a postcard from Lotte World, which is a theme park and amusement park. I also picked up this magnet from Lotte World, which has Music Tiger on, which is a popular like Korean brand or character or something, I think. I just wanted some souvenirs, and I also went to a four-cut studio every day that we were there. So I have a bunch of like obviously photo strips, and I always pin those to the side of the fridge with magnets. So I need more magnets because of how many four cuts I got. And then the last of the like art type things I got was probably my favorite thing that I bought while I was over there. I love to bring home a little trinkety ornament thing, and this was what I grabbed from this trip. Isn't he gorgeous? We went to the shop where they had a bunch of ceramics and they had these in all different colors. Weirdly, I was drawn to the neutral one, and it has like the studio logo on the bottom as well. I also picked up just a few blind boxes when I was there. I actually expected the blind box culture to be a little bigger, and you know what, they did have a lot, and there were people on the trip who did go crazy for blind boxes than me, but I feel like I've narrowed down specific types of blind boxes that I go for, and I only go for those specific ones. So my absolute favorites are Pucky from Pop Mart, but I won't allow myself to have more than one of any set, because then you have chance of duplicates, and like I don't need all of them. But I am up to date on all of the Pucky sets that have been released. But my second thing is Winnie the Pooh blind boxes, and the Minisos in Asia stock so many more things than they do in the UK. I think at least 2 of these were from Miniso, and one was from a different blind box shop that we found. But this one had like cute little flower Pooh bears in, and this was my pull. We also found like a seasonal one, and I got the autumnal Pooh Bear, which is, you know, my favorite season. There was also a like seasonal bag charm box, and I got the Sakura one, which I thought was so fitting because obviously it was cherry blossom season. So very happy with my pulls on those. And then the last few things that we have to cover are snacks, of which there actually aren't that many because I have eaten some of them as well. So I did get some yakgwa. This is the pack that I'm gifting to my dad because I have already started eating mine. But these are traditional Korean honey cookies. They're like double fried or something, but also soaked in honey. We had some at a traditional tea house that were really good, so I bought some of these off one of the little like street food stands. One of my favorite foods of all time, or favorite snacks of all time, is chocolate coated nuts. I feel like we don't have as many as we could have, as many varieties as we could have, especially in the UK. So I love when I go to other countries like the US, have tons of different types that are really easy to find. And in Korea there is a shop called HBAF, which I think is called Honey Butter Almond Friends, and they have a mascot which is a big almond, but they have like 40 varieties of flavored almonds. So I obviously had to come back with some. I could have done way more damage than this, and I'm surprised I didn't go back for more. But the ones, I've nearly finished these, there's only a few left, are the chocolate churro almond flavor. So obviously chocolate and cinnamon, big fan. I also got the dark chocolate almond crunch, which I haven't tried yet, and then one of the flavors that we sampled in the store, which I'm going to assume are also like the core flavor, are the honey butter almonds. And then I also got a bunch of things from Olive Young because their snacks look so good. I haven't tried these ones yet, but they looked really interesting to me because they are caramel apple chips. I mean, I know we're in spring, but this just screamed autumnal flavor to me, and so I wanted to give them a go. I also got some chocolate covered fruit. I think these cost me around £2 per pack. If I bought these in the UK, they'd be like £4 to £5. So I got the dark chocolate strawberries, which I did have a bag of these while I was there, and they're really good. So then when I went back to get more of the strawberry ones, I also picked up the banana ones to try as well, which I haven't cracked these open yet. I'm kind of savoring them because I don't want to eat them because then they'll be gone, but I also want to try all of the things. So maybe in my future vlogs, if I crack any of these open, I will give some feedback on how they actually taste. But I think that may just be everything that I bought in Korea. I'm sure that there's stuff I'm missing. I'm pretty happy with all of the things that I've gathered. I think I've done a good job of pulling everything together, but just because not everything was in my suitcase, I'm sure there's one or two things that I've missed, but all of the important stuff I feel like is present. I do want to ask you guys, if you know anything about Korean skincare, want a recommendation for just a general daily, like all-purpose facial moisturizer that I can use in between like my serum and my SPF in the morning and between my serum and my sleep mask at night. Like, it doesn't have to do anything special. I don't really know what I want it to do. Like, should it be incredibly hydrated? Should it be like barrier repairing? Should it be soothing? These are all things that I'm encountering when I'm looking for one, but I just want like a basic moisturizer, and I don't know which of these things like a basic moisturizer should be doing. So if you know anything about that and can recommend one to me, or one that you just know is incredibly popular and well reviewed, then please let me know down in the comments. Aside from that, I do hope that you have enjoyed this haul. I hope that it was everything that you hoped and dreamed it would be and more. If you guys would like to let me know that you were here but you don't feel like you have anything to say, please leave me a blossom emoji. I don't know if you can do cherry blossom specifically, but I do know there is a pink blossom flower there that you can use. But aside from that, guys, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna. If you head to my comments, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, my Instagram, and my Patreon if you want to follow me on any of those. And if you want to get involved in group trips in the future as well, I am currently hosting one to India this October. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.